Content contains adult language and humor that is not suitable for viewers under the age of 18. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Run away.
The views and opinions expressed during the following video content
No,
are those
don't
of the
run away.
individual
Stay.
and may not reflect those of others. Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome one and all to this edition of the Sunday edition of PACIFIC414 Pop Talk. I am your host, Mike. That's right there, and I selected one of the other intros. Very short intro. No countdown, no Pop Talk title introduction, just a quick warning disclaimer before we get to the program.
Yeah, like I'm not Baron. I'm CryptoCoin. I'm Cash Money's evil twin from an alternate universe. And these people just don't understand.
These people just don't understand that cash is away with some family priorities, family business, the family business.
Well, in my universe where I am Cash Money's evil twin, screw family. Domination overall. I got money to swim in, because these people.
So you have an actual money bin.
I have a CryptoCoin bin, yes.
Crypto coin bin.
Mm-hmm.
Well, are you willing to share that crypto coin bin with anybody? Anybody who might be in the chat right now, such as Tagge Steve, who says previously on Beverly Hills 414.
No, I don't know. It's a bunch of USB that are in a big thing, and I occasionally go in there and swim around in it.
Tagge Steve says Mike received the Dear John letter from Barbara. Oh no, Barbara Gordon's breaking up with me? Man.
Yeah, that's bad. That's not good.
Telling him she had to break things off. She seemed sincere and heartbroken about it. Mike, however, has never met a Barbara in his life, let alone dated one. Yet here she had some photos of himself with some blonde woman, and where did she get his underpants from?
I call bullshit.
Yeah. Me and some blonde woman, and the Barbara, she'd be a redhead. Yes, she'd be a redhead. Let's see. Okay, calm down, Mike. Calm down. Breathe in. Breathe out.
Yeah, I know that these people just make things difficult for us.
Bear received. Go ahead.
I just got up, by the way. I was asleep on my keyboard.
Yeah, I can tell that by your expression on your face.
Mm-hmm.
Bear received a text message from CryptoCoin telling him know that everything was all right and would be extending his UFO sporting vacation for a bit longer. Yeah, maybe that's where Cash really is.
Mm-hmm.
But Baron suddenly realized that Crypto had sent the message in English. He had learned to send his messages in Portuguese ever since his keyboard locked and he was too lazy to fix it.
Yeah, I'm kind of lazy that way, because these people just don't understand. And I don't want to send my computer in because, I don't want to happen to crit and it goes down to Honduras and they take off all my orca porn, and I can't do that.
Oh, interesting. Had Crypto fixed his keyboard and texted in English, or he was in dire trouble and someone else was sending messages in his name? Will the vending machine ever take this dollar bill?
No.
Stay tuned for Beverly Hills 414. And Steve says in alternate universe, Vin Diesel is the only one in the family. Of course, Stream Element spot is running. That's always good to see because sometimes it runs, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, These bots.
And Bucky's Crafting says lurking, getting chores done. I understand. I have some chores I got to do after the show.
Mhm.
And let's see if anyone else.
I have to wash dishes, go to the internet place and ask why they're causing problems. Watch them flip down the nipple flaps as I'm talking to them, and then I get my kale and tofu at the whole market.
I see.
Mm.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all doing well on this Sunday afternoon or Sunday morning, or maybe it's even early Sunday evening where you are. And Baron and I are going to try to keep this to an hour. Keyword try. No promises.
Yeah, in the Mirror Universe, the tofu is made out of veal, and the kale is baby seal skin. Just to let you know, because it's the evil universe with me.
Let me guess, CryptoCoin, you have a goatee.
No, because it would cover my magnificent chin, and I can't do that. I have a Fu Manchu that heightens my chin.
Well, that's one thing you and your counterpart in this universe have in common: the chin.
Isn't it magnificent? People are jealous of my chin.
Even in
And
that
my
universe, huh?
And because it's weaponized. I have a weaponized chin.
So,
I partake in chin fu, and I'm a black belt.
how much of the sauce did you have last night before going to bed?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah. I'm yeah.
All right. So, since CryptoCoin is currently indisposed, I am going to let you all know what stories we are going to talk about on this edition of Pacific Forum for Pop Talk, and hopefully keep it to an hour. We'll see. I've said that before, and well, we all know how that's ended up. One of the stories we are going to talk about this morning is that apparently majority of Americans support the writers actors over studios in strikes. Gallup poll finds.
I call
Yeah,
bullshit.
I call bullshit on that too.
Hey, I'm here. Did I miss anything? Sorry, I'm late.
Yeah, we had crypto money
Oh,
from
dang.
the other universe,
I've been trying to get a hold of him.
and he was bragging about his magnificent chin underneath his afro goatee.
Oh, okay. Afro goatee. Ooh.
Yeah.
I thought he had a Fu Manchu.
And Tagge Steve says, he got me all choked up. Holy
How's that is?
Holy shnikes. He deflated. I know he said holy shit. And we have Real Wade Gaming clips here. Hello, Wade.
Hey, Wade.
And let's see. T-Gap Steve has a question for you. Does he still owe you $20?
40.
Oh, see, it increases.
And don't ask, and do not ask Phil McCracken how much he owes him. So.
Oh, no. But this article from the Hollywood Reporter, it says union support remains high among Americans as more than 70% side with the writers.
I call bullshit.
Again, I call bullshit too. Who did they ask? They didn't ask me.
Mm-hmm. I think it was a very narrow poll, if you ask me. But we'll find out with that story, I'm sure.
And then we have an article from comingsoon.net, and it's talking about the Spectrum and Disney dispute, and they're explaining it, what happened, and what channels are affected. Well, a lot of us know that it's all the Disney-owned channels that are affected. So if you're a Spectrum customer like me, you can't watch those channels. But I gotta say, I haven't watched any of the Disney-owned channels for quite some time.
Oh, here I thought you were going to be the majorly impacted with that.
Not when I'm not already not watching them.
How are you going to watch the Wizards of Waverly Place and stuff like that?
I don't need to.
Okay, I just wondered.
And then, of course, we had some sad news. I know we've had a lot of that lately, but we
Yeah.
lost a great one, folks. A real great one. Real good songwriter, singer, musician. Jimmy Buffett passed away at the age of 76.
The Cult of the Cheeseburger in Paradise. Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
See what I
But
did there? I didn't go for the obvious one.
no, no.
I'm better than that.
But you know what, Baron? I don't know about you, but I'm curious to find out how and why 70% of Americans support this strike that's going on.
Who are these poor, deluded fools? Besides the ones that are on the picket line, which would be easy to get a pull on.
Yeah, and this is just me speculating. How much you want to bet that maybe they did pull the ones that are picketing?
Mm-hmm. Or in and around the LA area that's affected by this a little bit more.
Yeah. So again, like the headline says, of course, I have to put it up on screen. And there we go. Majority of Americans support writers, actors over studios in strikes, Gallup poll finds. Union support remains high among Americans as more than 70% side with the writers.
I think the source is enough right there, the Hollywood Reporter.
Yeah. That tells you all you need to know.
Mm-hmm.
This is by Caitlin Houston. It was actually posted on the 30th. And let's get into this, shall we? And then look what it says right there. First paragraph there. Right there.
Mm-hmm.
Their headline says one thing, but the first paragraph says another.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll go ahead and increase it so everybody can see what I'm yammering about. Here we go. It says 72% of Americans are more sympathetic to the plight of television and film writers than that of television and film studios amid the strike, according to a Gallup poll released Wednesday.
Well, sympathetic and supporting are two different things.
Mm-hmm. That's compared to 19% who felt more sympathetic toward the members of the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, the group that reps major studios. Additionally, survey respondents felt more sympathetic toward television and film actors at 67%. I think that's a little too high.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to 24% who sided with the studios.
Where are the writers?
The results come as the Writers Guild of America has been on strike since May 2nd, and they can continue as far as this particular person is concerned. SAG-AFTRA has been on strike since July 14th. That can also continue as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, yeah.
There has been no news out of the WGA and the AMPTP negotiations since the two parties resumed talks August 11th. On August 22nd, studios publicly released details of their counteroffers, saying their priority is to end the strike, but the WGA said the offer was neither nothing nor nearly enough. Of course, it's never enough.
No.
SAG-AFTRA sent a message to members August 27th saying that there had not been movement in talks. SAG-AFTRA's negotiating team remains ready at a moment's notice to go back to the bargaining table to secure a righteous deal. Unfortunately, we've seen from recent news out of the WGA negotiations, it appears that the AMPTP is still unwilling to make concessions necessary to make a fair deal that would bring the strikes to a close, the statement said.
No, okay. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I am going to have to do this first of all because this is willing for this one. But
I call bullshit.
I think Carlin's going to get well used in this one. Now let's take a look at that. This is such a biased piece because they're saying that the other ones are unwilling to make any concessions. Basically, saying any concessions, which are trying to imply for a fair deal. But the thing is they are making concessions. I think that the SAG-AFTRA has gone to the fact that they went to the table with the the pie in the sky, right? What they want, and they've deluded themselves. Anybody who knows about negotiation, you don't go in there with the pie in the sky and expect to get pie in the sky. There's the three levels. The basically under what we have, it's good, and then you have the pie in the sky. You hope you get it, but as that goes, they're just not getting all those sweet deals that they want. Just like the writer's strike, where they're sitting back saying they want to have 5 to 10 writers per season of a TV show, depending, of course, on the length of how many episodes and hours or whatever they have on the TV show, which is absolutely freaking ridiculous.
You don't need that many writers in a writer's room writing one episode after another. If you have a competent team of writers, you could do it with probably a team of 5.
Right. You don't need, or you hire people from the outside. Hey, we're going to have a different take, which sometimes they do. But to go out there and make it mandatory that you have to have 5 and 10. What's that going to do for, again, now you have to pay for all these writers. All it is to make, to basically have job security for a bunch of people who've been proven that they can't do the fucking job in the first place.
Especially if you look at modern entertainment.
Right.
Modern entertainment, which has shows like Star Trek Discovery. I don't think it's any good. As a Star Trek fan, I don't think it's any good at all when you compare to the original series, Next Generation, DS9, Enterprise, even Voyager. And I know there are people who don't like Enterprise, but Enterprise is better than what we're getting with Discovery or even Picard. Picard was all member berries.
Right.
Remember this? Remember that? Oh, remember this? No, because that's not exactly how it happened on DS9 with the changelings.
Not only that, doing that in Star Wars, I'm already seeing the YouTube stuff coming out saying, "Hey, we have so many Easter eggs, but Easter eggs are basically member berries." And it's like a high number. It's like, oh, you're going the same route that all you can rely on is member berries. No, it's and of course, why it's like this, like a sports strike. Why am I going to go out there in a fight between billionaires and millionaires? And I know that not all actors are millionaires, but the thing is they are in a place. I'm sure there's a lot of people walking the picket line who hardly had a job because they're not that good, but they're still part of the union and paying their union dues. But again, when you start hearing about all these actors and actresses and what they've said about us, and what their performances are and what they are doing and how much they're getting paid, and then they're whining and they want us to be sympathetic, who are middle class, against the studio, which is billionaires again.
Just like with sports, you're dealing with millionaires and billionaires.
Right.
You got the millionaire players in sports, and you got the billionaire owners. Well, the same thing with the actors and the studios. Millionaires as actors, billionaires as the studios.
And I understand. I know that the writers have a tendency to get shafted the most in Hollywood. They really do. And it's that's what they should be working on, is the shafting. Let's see how many we can pack in. And of course, lessen the quality of the pool, and therefore dumbing it down, again, driving more people away. How can there be so much sympathy when we see the rating numbers, the streaming numbers, and the box office takes? Even Mission Impossible, the latest one here, didn't do as good as they were hoping.
No.
And
they wanted to do a lot better than the last one.
And let's not talk about Little Mermaid or Indiana Jones and the Colostomy Bag of Doom. I mean, it's just it's hurting out there. Ahsoka
Mhm.
is not getting the ratings. Mandalorian 3 isn't getting the ratings or the streaming views. Why? Well, it went subpar.
Yeah.
That's all we're getting fed is subpar entertainment. Why should we care?
There's no reason for us to care when we're getting mediocre schlock.
Right. So I don't believe this. And again, so far we haven't seen anything about the writers because, well, we got to go to the glamour people. Oh, the wonderful actors and actresses are the beautiful people. We all know that the writers are ugly, fat jerks that just sit around and go, these people are even doing stuff
From
like,
Kraken, worst troll ever.
I mean, we all know that's all writers are, and I'm being sarcastic there, folk. I know better
Yeah.
than that. But I think that's what we have a lot of people out there thinking. They don't put a lot of emphasis, or it's not as glamorous to have the writers as it is to have the actors.
Mm-hmm. And I like what T-Gap Steve says here. Sure, you can have minimal 10 writers in the room, but if what they write doesn't make the numbers, then all those writers are kicked out of the WGA and banned for 15 years. Yeah.
Yep.
Give them
Right.
the incentive to keep writing good scripts, good movies,
Mhm.
good TV shows.
Right. There's got to be
Basically, their
consequences.
job's on the line if they fuck up.
Well, and that's just the thing. The unions have gone to the point that we're going to make sure these people are employed no matter what, no matter how bad it is. They have to do something really, really, really bad to be able to get knocked out. So they need to have consequences with that too. They can't use this as job security to the point that I can do whatever I want and it's not going to affect me.
Yeah. Yeah, and this article goes on to say that AMPTP has also hired a prominent Washington, D.C. crisis PR firm to help with its messaging.
If they really, okay, that is an important statement right there. If they really do have the heart and soul of the American public, they wouldn't have that, and the strike would not still be going on.
I find it hard to believe that they even do have the heart and soul of the American people, even with this Gallup poll. How do we know that, a Hollywood Reporter or whoever their source was for this poll isn't just making it up to make people who actually care about what's going on more sympathetic?
Well, yeah, this is part of the PR right here. This is, they're doing the PR work already with this. And it's a shame that they're using something that, basically people have considered Gallup, a top tier polling, but, congratulations, you have now gone to pandering.
Mm-hmm.
When you take a look at the Twitterverse and you take a look at the Facebookverse, and let's face it, these aren't necessarily filled up with people that are like us necessarily. And they're going after in the comment sections big time against everybody, the studios, the actors, and the writers. They're going in there and basically saying, well, how you've treated us these last few years, all of you, calling us names, calling us ists and phobes because we have dared sit back and say, hey, we're not liking what you're giving out there. So instead of using that as constructive criticism, go, well, maybe we should put a little more effort in. No, let's start calling names. And deep down, even though we might not know it on the conscious level, the subconscious, deep down, we know that the moment they start throwing names out, we know they lost.
Yeah.
They don't have an argument. And all they're going to do is berate you and beat you up.
Yeah. Put you down because they don't like what you have to say about their product.
Right. So, right now, Gallup, right now, the Hollywood Reporter, they're already doing all this. And, when you have a crisis PR firm, crisis, I'm surprised that word came in. I'm actually surprised this entire sentence came in. Because that is not a good sign, folks.
No.
We're going almost into 2 months of the strike. 2. And again, if it has the hearts and soul, there'll be people clamoring and yelling at the studios and I remember other strikes when we had stuff like this, and the people were out there all peeled because they weren't getting their entertainment. We have so many entertainment right now, we don't care, for one. And two, they treat us like shit.
Yep. I mean, I've said it and I'll keep on saying it. Let them go on strike. Let them stay on strike. And notice that there's a new shift. There's a new form of entertainment. It's those of us who stream on platforms like Twitch, Kick, YouTube, Rumble.
And
just to name a few.
And again, I'm going to circle back and say, look who they conveniently not putting in there. The writers. Because they had to bring the pretty people out. Because, deep down they know, we're not going to get as much mileage with the writers. But, the pretty faces we can.
Yep.
The vapid, empty-headed, whatever it is that's the flavor today, I'm spewing out.
The Jennifer Lawrences of Hollywood.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know much, but this is what I'm told to say.
You know, the first Hollywood celebrity to ever go on strike, period.
Yeah. Right.
And
20 seasons. I want to go 20 seasons. Go.
And you know what I find interesting? This next paragraph here. The Gallup poll was conducted via telephone interviews in August with a random sample of just over 1,000 adults living in all 50 states and the District of Columbia. That may have been what all my spam calls were. I seem to get those every day.
Yeah, I doubt it, though. I mean, that's 1,000.
I know, Barrett.
Yeah.
I was being sarcastic.
I know you were. But that's the point I'm making. We get more calls from the spammers than this. How many people do we have in this country?
300 plus million.
Right. We're hitting about 400 million. And that's of course trying to count in many of the people who are in here that we don't know about. So we have about 300, 400 million people. So let's just talk to 1,000 people, 1,000 people, quote unquote, randomly across the United States. But where were they randomly selecting these people? I mean, District of Columbia. Yeah, that's not going to be biased. Hey, let's go into the heart of all. Yeah, let's go to Chicago. Let's go to obviously LA. Let's go to the big cities. How many people? How many did they hit Jamestown, North Dakota, or Carrington, North Dakota?
No, probably not.
Probably Bismarck, or even more so Fargo. But
any small town in the U.S. Did they call anybody in a small town?
Right. Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. No, they probably went Albuquerque.
Yeah. So this article finishes off by saying the poll also found high continuing support for unions overall, with 67% of surveyed respondents approving of them, albeit down just slightly from 71% a year ago. However, this is the fifth straight year results for the question have been over the long-term average of 62%. Yeah, because people realize what unions really are.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And it's just like talking the other day on another stream there. It's like back in the day when the actors were under contract to a studio. And of course, they could be, obviously leased out or lended out to another studio. But these actors, when they were with these studios under those contracts, they had constant training that the studio was doing for them. Dancing, acting, singing, whatever it is, especially that that their entertainers were very well known with, to help keep them up, keep them going, keep them fresh, keep them able to do their job better. We don't have that now.
No,
they're too busy doing snorting coke off of a hooker's butt in a studio somewhere.
They're too busy being activists instead of being actors and actresses
Yeah.
memorizing their lines for whatever part they're playing in a TV show or movie and how they're supposed to be depicting the character.
Mm-hmm. Right. It takes, yeah, being an actor is hard. But the best actors out there make it look easy.
Mm-hmm.
The people out there that make it easy, the reason why they make it easy is because they have worked hard, not just on their quote unquote clock, but off a clock.
Yep.
And again, what's going to happen? Because basically, in many ways, let's face it, the actors walked out in solidarity more than anything else. From what I understand, they were close to a deal, but then they walked out to join the writers. What's going to happen when they decide after a while, oh, we're going to accept it? And the writers going, hey, wait a moment. We haven't had ours yet. Or vice versa. They come up with a sweet deal for the writers, and the actors are still out there doing the circle jerk. What's going to happen then? Are they going to demand solidarity still, even though you got your deal?
Well, it's Hollywood. They eat their own. They're going to throw each other under the bus.
Oh, yeah, they're using each other. Honestly, if you really look at it, they're using each other. I mean, many actors have the same attitude about writers as some of the studio people. It's like, you're just useful toys. And of course, they don't realize that they're just useful toys to the studios. And to the directors and the producers. They're just little action figures we play with, except, you're in front of a camera.
Yeah, and once we're done with this particular actor or actress, we'd say, we don't want you now.
Right.
Or if that actor or an actress actually has her head on straight and actually says something that makes us in the public go, hey, wait a minute, that person's making sense.
Yeah.
Then Hollywood says, we don't want your kind of thinking around here anymore.
Yeah, you're not part of our cult. And really, honestly, that's what it is. Hollywood's a cult.
Mm-hmm.
No wonder why Scientology, and if there's Scientologists out there, I'm sorry, but that's what I believe it is, a cult. I mean, they can suck in Mensa people like Mimi Rogers, and of course her ex-husband Tom, who isn't, Kirstie Alley, and just take the coach. Not coach, but chef. Sorry, I didn't mean you, coach. My apologies, coach. Don't come after me, coach. But the chef. I mean, look at all the actors and actresses that are part of the great Scientology. Well, no wonder why they're able to get sucked in there, because the whole system is a cult, and the cult leaders are in the studios. Nobody in this, in my opinion, deserves anything.
They don't. Not when they've spent the last 6, 7, you might as well even say 8 years throwing us, the hard-paying public, under the bus because we don't like a particular TV show, program, or even a video game. Because they're even authorizing some actors who are part of SAG who do work in video games to go on strike.
Mm-hmm. Well, let them. I know Vic Mignogna won't, and that's going to make him they're going to make him more mad at him. But honestly, that's a sign of desperation. The nanny is not doing a good job.
No. Fran Drescher, she's the head of the president of the SAG-AFTRA organization, and she's not doing a good job. And I don't know who the head of the Writers Guild is, but they're not doing a good job either.
Yeah. Not at all. None of them at all are doing a good job. Excuse me, I've just got to yell at Mouse. Mouse, get out of the way. You can't see him on the screen. He's trying to get screen time. He doesn't realize I don't have a
Camera.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, here, I'm just a second here. I'm trying to grab something here, and Mouse wasn't making it easy. But I think that can really go down and explain everything that we think about with this. So I was trying to get it more smooth than that, but I'm blaming my cat. It's not El Diablo Gato this time.
No, it's your right-hand cat.
Yeah. Well, he's mad. He hasn't been seen on screen lately. There. This is it. This is it in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm. That's perfect. That is absolutely perfect.
The Simpsons did it again, or at least they were able to make a good meme. But that's it. I mean, every time I think about what's going on there, I think of this.
Yeah, it works.
It's funny. I posted that in there in a group. I did a little trolling myself, and someone comes and goes, "Are you butthurt and all that blah blah blah?" It's like, geez, it seems like you're more butthurt than me. I'm just expressing what our opinion is, and that's the best you can do. Is basically melt like a snowflake. I'm not a snowflake. I don't care. I mean, if I'm sitting around cheering, I'm not butthurt. I'm enjoying the freaking show.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing. I enjoy streaming. I don't care if it's Pop Talk or if I'm doing a game stream. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I have fun with it. Yeah. When you hear me get frustrated in the game because I've died for the 100th time, well, I'm getting more mad at myself than the game.
Well, our internet connections, yeah.
Yeah. Like last Friday. Well, I should say this past Friday when we were playing Vermintide, I was losing connection and I had to drop out.
Yeah, I started actually towards the end of it too. It's like, oh wait a moment, my connection was going, but it was about the time to jump off anyway. So I'm thankful for that.
Yeah. But yeah, Hollywood, you should learn a lesson, and that's the general public. More than those 1,000 people that were polled, we really don't care. We really don't.
Well, even then, there was still a significant number of those that they polled that didn't care, and they probably didn't like that.
And hello to Jed Sparks. And Jed Sparks, we are taking over.
Yeah.
Independent creators have already taken over.
Yeah.
We get more views than a lot of these programs. Especially the bigger channels get a lot more views than a lot of the programs you see on Disney Plus or even I can't say, regular TV because those shows still get in the millions, but anything on cable,
right.
There are YouTubers that get more views.
And maybe we can be questionable about over the air too. I mean, that's a dying medium and market. I mean, just take a look, and I'm just going to bring like Friday Night Tights. Look what the average you put in. But then when they bring in a special guest that's a known entity, watch that explode.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have various ones that are doing their whether they're fan films or original films. Look at the how people watch that. You start seeing how many views these gotten over a certain amount of time. Like that one cooking show we're watching yesterday. That sorry I was a little late. I was trying some of his cooking methods and kind of had a bellyache.
Yeah. Watching those videos that we saw last night of that cooking show on YouTube, or that guy that was acting like he was a professional chef. No, not when everything comes out raw.
Yeah, I mean, it was I was entertained because of the shit show and the train wreck.
I mean, when we're watching his video and he's making pea soup, and the two of us are like, "That's not how you do it." We're watching it in Discord and we're screaming. We're both screaming. That's not how you do it. Like he could hear us.
Yeah, it's like, can you hear me now? Oh God!
You gotta let it thicken.
I'm gonna make chili with a brisket leftover I had in my freezer for a year. You remember this one when I did this a year ago?
Yeah, when he pulled that out, I'm like, dude, you're giving people food poisoning.
Yeah, wrapped in aluminum foil for a year. A year. That really kept the air out of it. God in heaven. Then he gets upset because the he's in the contest, and who's going to be? Oh, everybody. Well, I don't cheat, and it's not fair that everybody's. I'm not going to win. Yeah, well,
No, you're
that's
not
how
going
it's
to
gonna.
win because the ingredients you use, well, especially when it's a year-old brisket.
Yeah, if it wasn't a year-old brisket, that would have been interesting. But there were concepts, but the execution. Oh boy, did he suck. Oh,
I mean,
anybody watches this person and cooks, you deserve what you get.
yeah, and you know what? When it was doing the chicken, and
Oh
you could
God.
see that it was still raw, it's like,
Oh yeah.
how long did you put it in there? And then you find out it was only for 30 minutes. You don't put chicken
At
in to the oven for 30 minutes.
30
What
minutes
do
at
you,
350 degrees. Yes.
gosh,
And he
put it
cuts it.
in at 400 for an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on the
Oh.
size of the chicken, what kind of chicken you're cooking. My mom used to do chicken breast,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
it was simple: baked
Right.
chicken with a little bit of lemon, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper.
Hmm.
You put it in for at least an hour and a half at 400.
I sometimes
She
use
would go a
lemon.
little longer
Mhm.
depending on the oven.
Right. You got to check it. I like
Yeah.
using lemon pepper sometimes on it. That's what I do
Mhm.
sometimes do with fish. Put the fish in there, put the butter, then put the lemon pepper over it, and
Yeah.
then cook it because the long suffering loves salmon. I have to do that sometime here. But yeah, I mean, yeah, just yeah, but you have to make sure it's all cooked. I mean, if
Mhm.
you don't do it right with the fish, you're sick. You do it right, don't do it right with the chicken. You go to Sam and Ella's Cafe. It's
Mhm.
this guy. Oh, so not all independent
And,
creators are good, but they are good for a shit show.
and then remember, he was making lasagna, and that wasn't lasagna. That was more
No,
penny, baked
yeah,
ziti. And
big
and
Z.
then and then remember I asked you to rewind it because I could have sworn I saw him take the wooden spoon
From
out
the
of the sink
dirty
from the
sink.
dirty dish pile.
Right, because he had the two sides. He had the one where you poured everything in, and he had the dirty one on the side. And he put the spoon in the dirty side, not in the sink that he was doing the transferring. Which is, I don't understand why he even transferred. Cook
He
everything in the
didn't
one pot and then add, if that's the case.
he didn't need to transfer everything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh oh boy, yeah.
So not all creators out there are good, but then again, not all TV was good. But again, if you enjoy shit shows, you'll love it.
Yeah.
I'll just watch it just for the shit show.
Yeah, and moving on to our next story.
Oh, that's right.
Well,
We're trying to keep it short.
yeah, I know. I know. I'm guilty.
I'm
I'm guilty.
no, I'm the biggest offender. So
But we lost Jimmy Buffett.
mm, yeah,
Ji- yeah, yeah, I know. I know. We're getting older, and as we get even older than what we are now, we're gonna hear more names that we recognize that we're gonna go, no, no, not them.
yeah. I mean, what 76? I guess in some ways,
76.
I still in some ways consider that kind of young. You shouldn't be going at 76.
Yeah. But Jimmy Buffett, known for Margaritaville, of course.
Hmm.
Some people say that there's a woman to blame, but I know that it's my own damn fault.
Toot, 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 toot. Yep. Cheeseburger in Paradise, the other one. His fans, the
Hmm.
parrot heads. Is
Yep.
right. I mean, yeah. And you're basically the guru of that laid back, kind of like that dude attitude, but not as dudeish. Just that
Yeah.
laid back, relaxed. Yeah.
Yep. And this was posted just yesterday because he passed away Friday.
Hmm.
It says Jimmy Buffett, the singer and songwriter of Margaritaville and dozens of other beachy soft rock songs, has died at 76 years old, according to a statement posted on his website and social media channels. Jimmy passed away peacefully on the night of September 1st, surrounded by his family, friends, music, and dogs, the statement said. He lived his life like he sorry, he lived his life like a psalm till the very last breath and will be missed beyond measure by so many. The statement included a photo of Buffett dressed casually and sitting in a boat out on the water.
Yep.
The cause of death was not revealed.
That's how people remember him.
hmm Buffett only ever had one pop hit, Margaritaville, but his music earned him generations of devoted fans, excuse me, and led to a business empire that made him one of America's wealthiest celebrities. Buffett started as a country singer and street performer in New Orleans, Louisiana. In 2017, CBS Sunday Mornings, Tracy Smith and Buffett traveled to the area's French Quarter together, where Buffett said that the city was integral to his career. And I've been to Margaritaville in Vegas, at least I don't even know if it's still there,
Mm.
but you know, it's a good atmosphere,
Mhm.
relaxed.
Right. What people want.
hmm Those years being here really were formative years for me, and it made me a better professional player. So I thought I could make that leap, and all of this way, all of this was my training ground for all that. He said, adding that he thinks his success probably would not have happened if not for New Orleans. Buffett spent decades touring after the success of Margaritaville, and he used the commercial clout and the support of his rehab parrot heads or fans to merchandise his music, open a chain of margarita resorts and restaurants, and launch a lifestyle brand. According to Forbes, Buffett's net worth was over $1 billion, and his concerts have reportedly grossed more than, excuse me, $1 million a night. Buffett continued to tour until 2023. His last tour date listed on his website is a performance in San Francisco on May 6, 2023. About 2 weeks later, he canceled upcoming late May tours in South Carolina. At the time, Buffett said he was hospitalized for some issues that needed immediate attention. Growing old is not for sissies, I promise you, he
He's
wrote
right.
at the time. Yeah. Buffett is survived by his wife, Jane, $2, Savannah, and Sarah, and son, Cameron. Well, we have his music to
Hmm.
continue to listen to, but it won't be the same without Jimmy being there and just dancing on stage and having fun.
Hmm.
And just think about how many lives he impacted whenever people listened to his music or went to his concerts.
And compare. I'm sorry. I gotta make comparisons. We're losing again, even though he only had the one quote unquote pop hit. Obviously, he was very successful and very. Who cares if think honestly? Who cares if it's a quote unquote charted pop hit? I mean, people remember his other songs and can just list off the songs that he did that weren't hits, quote unquote, and his writing abilities and presentation. Compare that to like Cardi B's WAP or anything Lizzo does. I
hmm
mean, it's just there's a huge gap in the, which kind of goes back to that last story we have. We're not getting the replacements we need at
No,
all.
because whether it's actors or in this case a musician, uh, current musicians, current actors,
Hmm.
they don't have the talent that folks like Paul Rubens had.
Hmm.
They don't have the talent that Bob Barker had to be a host of not one but two game shows for over 50 years of
Hmm.
his life. They don't have the talent of any of the actors that we've recently lost.
Hmm. It's yeah, and right now we call it classic rock. How many years until they just basically call it classic?
hmm
Because the the classic rock stations are still very popular.
Yeah.
And they can't be popular with just the boomers. The Xers have to be in there because, well, of course, some of the stuff in the 80s now is considered classic rock. I mean, next year, Jump from Van Halen is going to be 40 years old.
Yep.
I remember when it turned 30, I thought I was old. Now it's like, and that was like a blink, blink my eyes, and now it's looking at 40 years old. It's also going to be the millennials and the Ys. There's people other than our generations listening to this, and why? Because it's enjoyable. It's fun.
I have a friend, and he's currently on tour as a comedian.
Mm-hmm.
And I can remember going over to his house, and
Mm-hmm.
what was his dad listening to a lot of time? A lot of the oldies. He had a lot of them on CD and record,
Mm-hmm.
and he would listen to them. And that's what my friend, his brother, and sister grew up with.
That's kind of the. Sorry.
And I could say that for myself too.
Mhm.
My parents would listen to the oldies, at least what we call oldies now. And that's what I grew up with. I mean,
Mhm.
I'll be honest. I like the oldies better than I like a lot of new songs.
Right. And, I grew up with country and Western, which is nothing like what we have today, which is why I don't like country. I consider it garbage. It's basically a bunch of people that want to be a rock star and couldn't make it. That's you, Garth Brooks.
So, yeah. Don't get me started on Garth Brooks. Overrated. Overrated.
Don't get me going either.
And I do want to say hello to Cavatino Cavalryman Shay.
Mhm.
How are you doing this morning?
Yep.
Yeah, I love it too, Jet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. To alternative rock. Yeah. I mean, because you kind of have a little bit more, original writing.
And you know what, Shay? That's exactly what counts as oldies now.
Right.
80s music.
Now, let's put it through our heads here. A lot of the songs that we were listening to as we were younger, Mamas, the Papas, the Beach Boys, the Beatles, the Stones, their music is literally 50, 55, 60 years old now.
Mm-hmm.
1963 with the Beatles, when they really were coming out of their shell, you might say. So that's what, 60 years ago.
Yeah.
And then the British invasion. Let's go to Elvis. Elvis' stuff is 65 years, because if we want to go back to that's a little extreme, but a little bit over, but going about like 55 when he was getting started, in the 50s there. So you're looking at stuff that's getting to 60, 70 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And our stuff that we had in the 80s, well, already In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins is over 40 years ago. And what an impact that made.
Yeah, I mean, I could still listen to it to this day.
Right. But it changed music and television at the same time.
Listening to Billy Joel. I
Mhm.
can listen to Billy Joel all day. I know there are some people that aren't big fans of Billy Joel, but I can listen to his music all day.
Yeah, you and the Long Suffering. She loves Billy. And I like Billy too. One of his great songs, again, something that never charted because it was too long, but Scenes from Italian Restaurant. I think that's probably one of his best, or the best work he's done. If you sit back and actually critically listen to it. Not that I'm saying this other stuff's bad, but it's like, no, I mean, take a look at this. He had 2 songs that were half done, and he couldn't figure out a way to finish these songs. So what did he do? Well, he started the one song, did a bridge, went to the other song, did a bridge, and then ended with the first song. It was 2 songs put together, but you would never know it.
Well, it just shows that he had enough talent and enough recognition to know that he has these 2 uncompleted songs, and he came up with a way to make them one complete song.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, heck,
I
I
mean,
I
what would? Oh, sorry.
I like listening to Credence,
Mm-hmm.
Clearwater Revival. You
Yeah,
know,
CCR. Mm-hmm.
yeah,
I always sing fortunate song
the
before I come on
Eagles.
the show, folks. Oh, the Eagles. Oh, hell. I mean, look at even the impact the Eagles had on science fiction and fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
When good old Douglas Adams took Journey of the Sorcerer and used it for the theme song to The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah, I like listening to early AC/DC.
Oh, yeah. Bon Scott.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the later stuff too. I mean, Thunderstruck is still good, I think, and Back in Black, I think, is good. But definitely when they had Bon Scott in there, holy cow! But now, can you imagine what it would have been like sitting with Jimmy Buffett as he's, coming up with a song, kind of sit back, laid back, and strumming through, enjoying a margarita, maybe throwing a question out to you. Say, how does that sound? Do you think that sounds good? Can you imagine what that would have been like?
That would have been a unique time.
Yeah. Oh, Jimmy. I mean, I
And,
can't say I was a huge Jimmy Buffett fan, but I like him. You know.
and I'm not gonna act like I was a Jimmy Buffett fanboy, but whenever I heard a Jimmy Buffett song, I didn't turn it off.
No, not at all.
Yeah, it sucks getting older. He had that right because
Yep.
you do start losing people, and you think, no, not them, anything but them.
Mm-hmm.
So moving on to our next story, as this will probably be the last one for this broadcast. I mean, it's already getting close to an hour and 3 minutes, so we're going to be going
Yeah,
over
that's fine.
just a little bit, but
Mm.
it's not too bad.
Mm.
I
I'm
hear
having fun.
that. I hear that, Meredith. That's like, Mike, can we go a little longer, please?
Oh, especially after I found this one article, but that's beside the point.
Oh, all right. I will make an exception. Man, I'm such a pushover.
Oh, well, it's you know how it's getting your blood boiling last night.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
found another one.
Oh, really? Well
And
then.
you guess who it's from?
Let me guess. A site that can't be trusted.
2 sites that can't be trusted. Yes,
Uh-huh.
because the one's republishing it.
Okay, well, we will read that story after we read this story.
Sure.
Because I'm going to play my favorite clip of all
Okay.
when it comes to reading that story, Baron. And if you want to read it, you can go ahead, but I'm still playing the clip.
Go ahead. I don't care.
All right. So by now, everybody who's a Spectrum customer already knows, and some of you may have heard about this, but Spectrum and Disney are in a dispute. And, well, comingsoon.net is going to explain the dispute. This article from them was written September 1st. It's by Tudor Lenote. And it says many people were surprised to see ESPN going dark on Charter Spectrum due to the dispute the cable TV provider has with the Walt Disney Company. But what happened between Spectrum and Disney? And what are the channels that went dark? Here's what you need to know. And real quick, I do want to say hello to the Nerdle,
Nerdle.
DJ Ronna G. Okay, it says what happened in the Spectrum Disney dispute. Charter Communications and Disney Entertainment, excuse me, sorry, failed to reach a new carriage agreement. Carriage agreements are contracts between cable or satellite TV providers like Spectrum and content providers like Disney that determine the terms under which the cable provider can carry the content provider's channels. The blackout occurred during critical events like the U.S. Open tennis tournament and a college football game. According to The Hollywood Reporter, the current situation affects 14.7 million subscribers. Disney and Charter Spectrum were unable to agree on a new market deal based agreement. Disney defended its position, stating that the rates and terms they sought aligned with industry standards and that they aimed to reach a mutually agreed resolution. Spectrum accused Disney of demanding excessive fee increases and limiting customer choice in programming packages, forcing subscribers to pay for unwanted channels. They also highlighted rising programming costs driving higher cable TV prices. I wonder why Disney is asking for a lot more money. What's been happening with their stock lately? Yeah, could it be because Disney is losing money? They're going to price gouge everyone else that they think they can get money from. What channels are involved? Here's the list of the channels involved in the Spectrum Disney dispute: ESPN, ABC, FX, Freeform, Disney Channel, ESPN2, ESPNU, ESPN News. Too many ESPN channels.
Yeah.
National Geographic, Disney Junior, Disney XD, local ABC stations in various markets, including ABC 7 Chicago, ABC 7 Los Angeles, ABC 7 New York, ABC 7 San Francisco, ABC 11 Raleigh Durham, ABC 13 Houston, and ABC 30 Fresno. Well, I call me old fashioned. This is where you can get an over the air HD antenna.
Yep.
And possibly pull in some of those stations.
Yep. Bingo.
These channels cover a wide range of content from sports to entertainment and family programming. The blackout of these channels during the dispute affected many Spectrum subscribers who relied on them for various forms of entertainment and information. For more guides, check out how to fix error code, blah 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 on Hulu. Yeah, okay, whatever. But it's a over what there? What does any sort of dispute always involve? Money. Money. I'll say it the way you like to say cash. Money.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, yeah, again, we're looking at this being Disney properties. Disney's hurting. Like you said, you know what? It wouldn't be bad if you had so many ESP channels if you had variety in it. But it's always the same stuff over it, the same sports. Never really branching out to show others. Really, honestly, if we have that many channels, we have the World Series coming up of rugby starting on the 8th of all things. So I'll be coming in hot and heavy from watching the All Blacks play. I believe it's France that morning or that afternoon to the Star Trek stream. So it's like yeah. But come on, rugby is getting popular. Are you afraid it's going to interfere with your football? And people might be saying, well, I guess football is really not that good compared to this sport. There's all sorts of other sports you can bring in to show people that are popular and could probably be popular here. Or you have people that came from other countries that'd be more than happy to watch it. Hell, throw a cricket game on there. You'll get people from India, Pakistan, more so than people from England watching it. But no, they have to go the extra way of doing finding those things and paying extra more money. They'd rather put the money on that than your ESPN crap.
Yeah. Although this shouldn't be a surprise that I might give cricket a look.
Yeah,
because there are similarities between cricket and baseball.
Well, I mean, I've watched it, and the scary thing is, I was understanding it.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No,
Nothing wrong
no,
with that. I mean, I could probably pick it up pretty quick if I took the time to watch it. And
yeah, that's just it. It's a matter of actually sitting back and watching something, and not just shoving your nose in a phone.
well, oh, wait a minute, Baron. I'm sorry. I gotta pay attention to my phone during the broadcast.
I do.
I'm not really paying attention to what you, Cash, or the chat are saying. I'm mainly
No,
into my phone. My my phone is right up to my face.
Twitter is life. Remember that. Twitter is
I'm
life.
joking, folks. I'm joking. I'm
I'm not.
joking.
I'm constantly one there.
But yeah,
No,
the people
it's
I feel sorry for with this whole dispute because they're going to be the ones paying for it in the long run, no matter what deal the two companies come to, are the customers, the
oh
hardworking customers.
yeah. In a heartbeat, it will be.
Yeah.
Uh, it's just like I remember from the '80s when people were going around and screaming and hollering because cable prices in one area would be higher than another area, even though it's the same company. And they're saying, well, why is it so expensive out in the rural areas? Well, they have to lay all the lines. You already have the infrastructure in some of these cities. They don't have to, but getting it out to you is going to cost more. No, we're going to need, and of course, and then, well, your cable company charges more than this cable company. Well, yeah, but they're not in your area. That's not fair. Well, and in some ways, I agree with you. It shouldn't have been a monopoly. There should have been competition, but that's a different argument. But then they decide we want to have make it so everybody's got the same price.
Hmm.
Oh, do you really? Do you not understand that you go with something like that? They're, the people that charge you the least are going to raise their prices, not the other way around. They're going to match the top tier people. And in an end run, everybody's going to be paying more, including you that were probably sniveling, who were having a good deal. Now going to turn around and complain, oh, my cable now costs so much. So what you reap. This is the same thing here. I mean, honestly, uh, if Disney gets its way, Spectrum's going to have to raise their prices.
Hmm. And it's not just for the cable subscribers; they'll do it for the people that are only subscribed to the internet
Right,
to supplement the payment.
right. This is a company all
Yeah,
across the board. Company.
yeah. I mean, I'm already paying up the wazoo for my internet.
Hmm.
I don't even want to know what I'm going to have to pay and still get piss poor internet.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And
that's the truth, folks.
yeah, it's a hardcore truth. I mean, you come up with these utopian socialist ideas, and you don't realize in the long run you're going to get effed.
Hmm.
We're not saying that everything is rosy and all that, but it's a lot better than if you went that way.
Yeah, and speaking of effed, I think this is appropriate because I mean this is what happens during any kind of dispute like this. The customers, well,
Do you see what happens, Larry, when you fuck a stranger in the ass?
Yeah, yeah. And all right, now we're going to have the extra added economy of it. Now these people who are not happy with Disney, right, and
mhm,
strikes and all this fun stuff, now we're going to go. Oh, you got to work with these poor cable company, the poor studios here. Well, we got to make sure we. It's like, well, one or the other. You give them the middle finger the one way, give them the middle finger the other way. Tell them you don't give a frig.
yeah,
There's other ways to get these things. There really is. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit of work, but then you got to start reassessing your life a little bit. Is it really that freaking important to me? Do I really need this? Or do I really want it?
and
Yeah.
Cappuccino Shay says what is even worse is that we should all be on fiber optic cables. Some
Hmm.
homes are still connected using copper. Yeah,
You're
yeah,
absolutely right.
they're There are homes around here that are still connected to copper cable. Why? Because they haven't upgraded to fiber optic
Right.
cable.
It's not on the list right now. We'll get there
No.
eventually, as you say. Yeah, we know that song and dance. It's not in sympathy with the cable providers. Also, again, I can bring that thing up again with the fight between the two monkeys.
Mm-hmm.
It just changed the names down there, the studios and the cable company, and us standing around watching it because we were the ones that have been mocked. I mean, really, honestly, do you want to listen to ESPN where the hosts are talking down to you and are literally racist? I will say it. They are. Listen to some of the things they sit back and say, but they get a pass.
They get a pass because of who they are,
Right?
the company they work for,
Mhm.
and their political leanings.
Exactly. It didn't work for Jimmy the Greek, but he was not in the right category, you might say.
Yeah. So, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to this, I know people love their ESPN, their ABCs, FX, but if I were a Spectrum, I'd tell Disney to go screw off.
Yeah, I would in a heartbeat.
You can always find some alternative programming to put in, in the case of an ESPN, put in that channel's place or another channel's place.
Are you so slavish to the professional sports that you can't step down and start watching minor league things?
But I have to have my Monday Night Football, Baron. It's football.
Football. Yeah. And I'm not talking about college either. They're just as bad. I'm talking about, when it comes around to baseball. What really built this country? It wasn't the major league in that area of the sports. It was all the little major leagues. It's, look at some of the films that they even showed about. Not that I'm saying that they're accurate descriptions of it, but the minor leagues were the ones where you had that hometown team that you had that support, and then you had your majors as it went along, but you still had that hometown support. Okay. Here in Minnesota, do you need to watch the Twins? We got the Saints minor league team. Look at other places. I mean, some of these minor team stadiums fill their stadiums about as big as a professional. Why don't we start focusing on that, folks?
I mean,
we got other options out there.
We even have a short season baseball team in our area. I haven't gone to any of their games in a while, but that's an alternative.
Right. Yeah, we got one in our town. Our local town team goes around and plays with the other teams around. Damn good team. I think they even got a player that used to play on the Minnesota Gophers baseball team. And that's just it. I'm sorry.
Oh, Baron. I think that's worth a certain clip, if you know what I mean.
Oh, go ahead. You're working faster than me, I know.
Probably is, like I've said before, too many damn clips. I gotta find it.
Yeah.
I gotta weed some of these clips out.
Yeah.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
Poor Keycap Steve. Oh, God. But, going back to college sports, everyone focuses on freaking football. Start focusing on the women's softball, which is, good to watch. It's fun to watch. It's great to watch. And the regular college baseball.
Well, I was gonna say, why can't we focus on women's volleyball?
Oh, yeah. especially beach volleyball. Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking
Mhm.
about.
There we go. There we go. There we go. I mean, there's options out there. If you're just slave to the one thing, you
But
deserve
I
what you
need to
get.
watch my NFL, Baron. It's the
Yeah,
NFL.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
need to watch my hockey when hockey season comes around, eh?
Yeah. I mean, at least hockey still isn't as bad, but it's again, you got your local ones. These are
Yeah.
the things that built these sports, and they're being ignored because people are so myopic and they have the blinders on. It's like, wait, only this and this only.
No, Baron. I can only listen to a Cub game from my Cubs broadcasters.
Mhm.
Actually, I only like listening to the radio side.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's just it. The best thing to do, especially in the day, was you turn the game on the TV, turn the volume down, and you turn the radio on and listen to the announcers because, well, being that they have to describe what's going on to the people who can't see it, do a better job telling you what's going on down there and don't have to fill it with fluff.
Yeah, it's like listening to Pat Hughes and Ron Coomer on the Cubs radio side.
Mm-hmm.
Pat Hughes is say, and the Cubs are coming out in their gray trousers with blue
Mm-hmm.
undershirts, wearing their blue hats and
Mm-hmm.
blue shoes.
Yeah.
It's a cool 75 degrees here in Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Right.
I love Pat Hughes' home run call when a Cub hits a home run.
Mm-hmm.
There's a deep fly ball to left field. This ball's got a chance. Gone.
Right. And they even better chance, a bigger way of getting people excited when they're watching the game that
Mhm.
the TV commentators don't necessarily get to convey.
Well, you know, when you're on TV, Barrett, you gotta talk like this and act like you know your shit, even though you don't.
Mike. Even though I never played the game, I never talked that way. Even when I was talking with Cassius Clay, and he threatened me, telling me this Muhammad Ali.
Well,
Remember, I
thank
never
you,
played the
Howard
game.
Cosell,
Howard,
Orman Tack.
Howard Cosell here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, too bad Mean Gene's not with us.
You know something, Mean Gene?
What
I've
we
seen a
got?
lot of dudes out there. I've seen someone like T-Gap Steve out there, and he's a real crazy dude, brother. Him and Shay, yeah, they're real crazy dudes, brother. But I'll tell you one thing, dude. They'll go out there in the ring and they'll really open up a can of whoop ass, dude. To quote Stone Cold Steve Austin, open up that can of whoop ass, brother. I tell you what, son. I'm gonna go right down that aisle, step into that ring, and I'm gonna whip some ass.
You started sounding like Christopher Lloyd there towards the end.
Well,
Okay.
it kind of stems from my Christopher Lloyd impression.
Okay,
Marty.
everybody.
Okay, everybody. Marty, tell you what you gotta do. You gotta get the DeLorean up to 316 and whip some ass, Marty. But Doc, how am I supposed to get the DeLorean up to 316? You gotta do it, Marty. You just gotta do it.
I thought it'd be 414, but that's beside the point.
I was just trying to give it to Steve Austin. What? I
Oh,
said
I
I'm
see
trying to keep it in the Steve Austin. What? Steve Austin. What?
I see what you did there. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah. Hey, you know what I started doing as I was saying that, Barrett, and I'm letting everyone else know? I started moving my head back and forth like Steve Austin.
Oh, I'm sure you were. You mean you have to get into it, man. You have to get into it when you're doing it.
So there you go. I'll even give you some commentary on what I'm doing. Yes, Mike's getting closer to the microphone. He's moving his head back and forth, building up a real attitude.
Mm-hmm. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. That's how you play it. That's how. Yeah.
But I'm sure you want to get into that article.
Well, let's just get into it. Okay, go ahead.
But before we do, there's a clip. Well, actually, I'm going to play two clips.
Oh,
Because
really?
this will be my first reaction.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, just cock.
He said, "Today is a good day to die."
And this will probably be our reaction after we've heard everything.
And hello to Tommy and his guinea pigs.
Yes, Tommy will be joining us this Friday for 50 years of exploring the final frontier.
And his guinea pigs will be doing battle with DJ Ronnie G's turtles. So it's going to be an interesting thing. Make sure you have your popcorn pop, folks.
It'll be glorious battle between the guinea pigs and the turtles. Who will fight with honor, and who will go to Grethor because they are full of dishonor.
Going up against the homicidal. No. Never mind. I was thinking hamsters. Never mind. I don't know. You know what? The other day, of course, I was torturing Mike and the others in Discord with these stories I was finding. And it's going through MSN because it's off the computer, but they are referencing to Screen Rant, our favorite folks. Yeah, right. Who are probably the biggest ass-sucking shells out there. And, you know, I was hoping we could do the Stacey Abrams. Are we still going to do Stacey Abrams on Wednesday?
Oh, I had mentioned this to Cash because I talked to him early this morning.
Okay. Well, you did?
I was wondering if we should save a couple of those Star Trek articles we saw last night for the 57 years of exploring the final frontier. Just to get everybody on the panel's thoughts on it.
Well, do we want to have our blood vessels in our, you know, in our foreheads popping as
well? Baron, you seem to forget, Baron. I am Klingon. I always prepare myself for glorious battle.
I'm Zathras. Zathras don't care. Zathras part of other universe. Zathras with other Zathras. You know, great machine, making sure things are okay. Zathras no care. No. No one care about Zathras. Zathras don't care about them. No. Nobody listens to Zathras.
Oh, there's a part of the roto where I love what Sheridan says. I know you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody.
Zathras. But we have from Screen Rant. Yeah. No, I am not going to follow them because, and you shouldn't. I'm not that I'm telling you what to do, but I would recommend that you don't. There's a recommendation. Star Trek TNG's greatness started after it ditched retreading TOS. Well, they do have a point on that one. TNG season 1 started off poorly, but episode 6, where no one has gone before, shows potential and marks a step forward for the show. This episode introduces the concept of the Traveler and his influence on Weasley Crusher, hinting the important storylines to come. Yeah, they were flying by their pants, people. Where no one has gone before showcases stunning visual, solid performances, and a fresh take on space exploration, setting the stage for TNG's future greatness. Star Trek: The Next Generation did not get off to the best start, but an early season 1 episode proves that the show excels when it steps out of the shadows of Star Trek, the original series. Although TNG would eventually produce some truly great space science fiction television, many first season episodes borrow some of the worst traits from TOS, with their overly cliched plot lines and failed attempts at social commentary. Episodes like Code of Honor and Angel One are largely regarded as some of the Star Trek's low points. But not every episode from TNG season 1 suffers from these same messed ups. And its 6th episode, where no one has gone before, TNG began to reveal a hint of the greatness to come when an expert on propulsion named Kozinski played by Stanley Kamel, visits the Galaxy-class USS Enterprise -D. Unfortunately, no A, no B, no C, and no without a letter, it's D. To experiment with the warp core. He and his assistant inadvertently send the ship millions of light years from Earth. This brings the Enterprise to the end of the universe, an area of space that no human has ever seen. The visuals used to depict the farthest reaches of space are stunning, and it's no wonder that Captain Jean-Luc Picard, Phil McCracken's favorite, played by some guy by the name of Patrick Stewart, I don't know if you've heard of him, and his crew are briefly...
Never heard of the guy.
And his crew are briefly tempted to stay and explore this unknown area of space where no one has gone before. Expands the concept introduced in TOS, playing with metaphysical ideas and embracing the pure wonder of space travel. I got news for you, Hanyuk. TOS did the same shit in its own ways. TNG, and this is not an insult to TNG, our Deep Space Nine, our Voyager, or even Enterprise, you are all in the shadow of the original series. Why? Without that, you would not have anything. And yes, these quote-unquote rehashing, you mean to tell me that they didn't rehash old, tired cliches throughout the rest of the season from 2 to 6?
Sure they did.
Yeah, they did. R7, I mean, Sub Rosa.
One of the worst episodes of season 7.
Right, exactly. And move along home with DS9.
One of the worst episodes of DS9.
Right. I mean, the thing is these shows' greatness isn't that they ditched retreading TOS, they expanded on it. Because the same important concepts, everything you're sitting back saying there is like failed attempts at social commentary, like Code of Honor, Angel One. Yeah, they were shitty episodes.
Yeah, and Tommy, and you were on the same wavelength.
Yeah, this Rachel Holsfoot, or Shat, Holshat. We'll go with Holshat. The blatant copy and paste like they did were the Naked Now, right? That was a blatant copy paste, right? Yeah. And that, that's one that you should have pointed out over Code of Honor and Angel One, because that was extremely, at least with Code of Honor and Angel One, they were trying something new. They were trying to ditch, in some ways, TOS, in some ways. That's why it didn't work. Reason why, DJ, because they considered Amos and Andy in space. They considered it very racially inappropriate. That's why. I just don't think it was a good episode. You know what I mean?
No, it wasn't.
No.
Oh, you are now my first. You are now my second. And it's like, okay, this episode's bad. It's bad. I can't even stand to watch it.
No. And really, if you want to take kind of a step, 11001001, that was one that was really stepping out and bringing the show to its own while staying in Star Trek. So was what was I got a minute, the battle where Picard is, again, that is classic out of where Kirk had to reevaluate things from his past that he's done. The same thing with Picard.
And T-Gab Steve says, Darmok at the Taco Bell. Darmok in summer. Darmok on the toilet. Chalad 2 blocks away.
Yeah, I understood that one.
Oh, boy.
I guess the reason why...
Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra.
Yeah, I know you were kidding.
His arms wide.
I know you were kidding, DJ. I just bring it out in case there was somebody who might be watching this that doesn't understand. But the reason why I guess I looked at this article and I just looked at it, while we're on the stream, because I just kind of do that as we're going through the show and see if there's something that might be important.
This shows you what we are battling with people who consider themselves fans.
Well, I'm gonna jump on that, Baron. I'm gonna say it's why I do streams for Star Trek on its 55th anniversary, on its 56th anniversary, on its 57th anniversary,
Mm-hmm.
because it's important to let everybody know how great the movies were, how great that there were, books, episodes of the different series. Not with these idiots at What Culture. Yeah, I'm calling them out because I've seen a couple of videos from those idiots
Yeah,
where they have absolutely terrible takes on the Wrath of Khan and
Mhm.
also crossovers.
Right. Right.
I mean, the people who do videos like that have absolutely no understanding of why Star Trek is what it is.
It's nothing wrong with going in with a severe critical eye or even having fun with being a nitpicker. I mean, like I said, I just found all my nitpickers guide to Star Trek TNG and I think even DS9. And it's fun. It's just fun to sit around and just do the little nitpicks. It doesn't mean we don't like it. In fact, on the contrary, we love it so much we're able to have fun with ourselves. But these people take it to another level. They are serious.
Yeah.
They can't let it go. They can't go with the theme song to MST3K. It's like it's just the movie. Just sit back and relax. It's like just have fun and enjoy. Yeah, nothing is going to be error free. The great film Citizen Kane. Many people pointed out, well, Kane died with no one around. How did they know his last word was Rosebud? Which is a very important thing to the whole plot of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And that's considered one of the great, if not the great, by many people out there. Well, there's a big plot hole right there. Does it really take it away from the movie? No, because it's good.
Yeah, there are certain things in TV shows and movies because it's good. Just let it slide if there's one little blemish.
Right.
That's not really a blemish. It's just okay. It's there, but it doesn't take away from the whole overall story.
Correct. I mean, the only really thing you can say Star Trek TNG did about ditching, retreading TOS is having better special effects. But if you watch the special effects, they tried to mimic as much of the original series as possible while adding in some new impressive shots that they're able to do with a different model because it has different ways to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, even from the beginning, opening episodes, the Enterprise is whooshing by like the original series. You see it going to a planet. It looks just like the original Enterprise going to a planet, going around and orbiting the planet, the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is just expanding, not ditching.
No. And I know Filmation got a lot of flack for using a lot of the animation over and over again, but they're not the only studios that did it for animation.
Well,
Hanna-Barbera did it.
Right. And it's not fair for them to do that with Filmation because you take a look at the special effects original series, they used over and over again. In fact, using models that didn't even look the same.
Mm-hmm.
They're using a first season or second, the first pilot or second pilot Enterprise model. And then they have the series model, which there are, the bridge dome, the end of the nacelles, either having the bump or smooth, the size of the dish. So, I mean, they were constantly, even Next Generation, look how much reuse that they had over everything. Look,
Yeah.
how
many times did they reuse many shots, not just from season 1, but all the way through the 7 seasons of TNG, many of the same shots of the Enterprise D.
Right.
Very rarely did you get a new shot of the Enterprise D.
And then it was impressive, usually.
Yeah, and one comes to mind, all good things. That's when you got a few new shots of the Enterprise D.
Oh, you had it in that one.
It was the Dreadnought
Mm-hmm.
version of the Enterprise D.
Right, but even the regular one that we all know and love,
Yeah.
they had to put new shots in.
Mhm.
But again, let's take a look there. They had the same problem as TOS because they had two models that didn't look alike.
Yep.
The big one, and then they had the little smaller one.
Yeah, they had the larger model, then they
Yeah,
had a 6-foot model, and then a 4-foot model.
right. And the big one was the
And
one that could separate.
yeah,
Mhm.
and the big one, even IOM was complaining about filming the big one for generations because of how big it was.
Mhm. Right. But they had to,
Mhm.
for obvious reasons.
And they say that because the Enterprise D model that IOM originally built that was too big, that's one of the reasons why they destroyed the Enterprise D, so they can make a new filming model of a new Enterprise.
Totally unnecessary. Plus the fact they also said that it wasn't framed right for a movie. It's framed right for TV, but not for a movie. I don't know, it looked pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Of course I like the big one. Us big ones like hanging out together. Why do we want to go around with the little ones like you guys? Yeah. Even though you'll make us look better. Oh my. Oh, can play that clip. Gotta play that clip. Who's gonna get to that clip first? Who's gonna get to that clip?
I'm letting you. I'm letting you.
Oh, okay. Oh, there.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
There we go. But I mean, even take a look at all the reuse of stuff they had in all the Star Trek series. The D7, the Bird of Prey, the Excelsior, the Oberth class.
I mean, so many different models have been reused over and over. They've just been redressed. You know, Space Dock. Well, it wasn't really Space Dock, but it was the station that orbited Earth
Yeah.
in Star Trek: The Motion Picture. What did they do? They used that same model. They just flipped it upside down.
Yeah, the office complex. Yeah, that became
Yeah.
regular one. Mhm.
Yeah.
Right, and then went along and became star bases and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And
It was used on DS9 during the Dominion War.
Mm-hmm. It was used in TNG a few times, I think, too, as a star base.
Yeah.
So and it looked better when they did turn it upside down, I think, for Star Trek 2 on. And then they even didn't even have the bottom part on it, just the top. A reason why they didn't, even though it was a different ship, the Defiant was still running around with the same numbers and name on it is because there's so many reuse effects that we have is kind of impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Just a second here.
Oh, it sounds like there's could be a glorious battle taking place between a dog and an orange cat.
Yeah, honey was not very happy with El Diablo Gato. I just volume it down to tell honey no, because I think she's actually pissed at El Diablo Gato. That was not the friendly, playful one that she has with him.
Like I said, it sounded like there was going to be glorious battle.
But I guess I like highlighting sometimes because this is what we're battling against, these shells of stupidity that's out there.
These same people who say that they can't watch classic Trek because of the set designs or because of the stories.
Mm-hmm.
It's because you got the attention span of a gnat. Let's face it. You can't sit down and take in what's being said in the episode, what's being shown to you in the episode, and comprehend it.
Yeah. And it's not ADD where it's like, oh, we have A storyline, B storyline, C storyline. No, when you sat down and watched an episode of Star Trek, it was that story. You didn't have subplot stories, which was completely unnecessary for Star Trek Next Generation.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're actually doing true character building, which, they do something, but it never sticks, so it's worthless.
I don't consider myself the brightest bulb in the world or the sharpest knife in the drawer, but even I had comprehended the stories that were being told in Star Trek, whether it's the original series, Next Gen, DS9, Voyager, or Enterprise.
Well, because that's what they're meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Shakespeare in his day. Everyone's today is like the nose up in the air. Shakespeare is such intellectual stuff, don't you know? But no, that was their Star Trek of the day. That was written for the common people.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that Isaac Asimov loved about Star Trek, because it was going for the common people to understand. Yeah, it's not, what you're seeing is not really true 100% science, but it's giving you an understanding of what we have here. And of course, the social commentary. It made you think. It didn't tell you what to do. It made you think.
And that's what I miss. When I watch current Star Trek, and I have, it doesn't make you think. They're telling you what to think. It doesn't make you think for yourself and go, was Picard right in that situation? Or were the Romulans right in that situation?
Mm-hmm. Right. It's yeah. I mean, you have STD, which is how it should be called, totally through there. You got the bizarre, boring worlds with musical freaking episodes. If I considered that true Star Trek, that would be on my list as the worst episode of Star Trek, hands down.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it's Shades of Green. That's even worse, just by a hair under Code of Honor. Just a hair under Code of Honor. As the worst
You mean
episode.
it's not there with Move Along Home, which I think is one of the worst episodes of any Star Trek series?
Well, no, but I'm talking about TNG. I'm talking about TNG here. I mean, overall, I think it's even worse than that, because I think that doing a clip episode, especially with only 2 seasons, is the laziest bullshit writing there is out there. That is not Star Trek.
Aaron and I have talked about this offline. You don't do a clip episode when you're only 2 seasons in and you have barely enough material to even show for a clip show. They could have come up with an interesting story, but they wanted to take the easy way out. And yeah, I know they weren't the only show in the 1980s that did clip episodes.
No. Well, our 70s. 70s was big with that.
Yeah.
Remember, Buck Rogers in the 25th century was like maybe a halfway into its first season. They did a clip episode with Gary Coleman coming back. And I that's not a musical episode. That's an episode that has music in it. And you had that. You had Uhura singing sometimes in the original series. That doesn't count as a musical episode. Just like Uhura's fan dance in Star Trek V doesn't count as it being a musical, because she's singing in that one. We're talking about, there's, breaking out into song and having dubstep Klingons or K-pop or whatever the hell they were doing, Klingons.
I mean, at least in Insurrection, when Data is malfunctioning and Worf and Picard have to go after him, and
I'm the very
Picard asked Worf,
Major General.
Yep. Mr. Worf, do you know Gilbert and Sullivan? No, sir. I haven't been able to meet all the new crew members yet. They're composers, Worf.
Right. I mean, music was always a part of Star Trek in one fashion. In other words, the score are bringing in a musical element. Spock playing his Vulcan harp, and Uhura singing, or he's jamming with the space hippies. That doesn't count. That is not a musical.
You know what I liked? Speaking of the Vulcan harp, when Spock played in the original series, when you would hear dun 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 da da dun da 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 dun. I love that. Even the guy I used to work with, he and I were talking about that one day, and we were both big Star Trek fans, and we were like, didn't you just love hearing that? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think I still got the plans on making one in my pile of blueprints and such. Make your own Vulcan harp. But that's different.
I'm sorry. I don't think anyone's going to be inspired to innovate new technology. I mean, the reason why we have iPads because of Star Trek.
Right.
The reason why we have cell phones because of Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
Personal computers, Star Trek, and many other science fiction movies that came out,
Mm-hmm.
and they depicted us having personal computers.
CDs, DVDs,
Mm-hmm.
same thing.
Yeah.
All our yesterday.
How do you think we got the 3.5-inch disc? Star Trek.
Right.
The data disc that Kirk used to put into the captain's chair on the Enterprise, or even at one of the stations on the Enterprise to get information.
Yeah, or Spock or Scotty or whoever.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a 3.5 drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say, yeah. And the thing is Nichelle Nichols wanted to do that because she worked so hard on her body, she wanted to show it off. I mean, all they're doing with
more power to her. More power to her.
All they're doing is taking stuff that basically we have in mind already, and just playing with that instead of thinking even beyond that. What could be isolinear chips? That's USBs.
Yeah. Yeah, although you mentioned USBs and isolinear chips, they actually use USB in Picard season 1. In one of the last episodes, when they're deactivating data, you see them remove this USB.
Yeah.
And it's obvious it's a USB because the end of it. It's like, no, if it's an isolinear chip, it doesn't have the same kind of edge to it.
Well, just a second here. Let me change this here. Just a second here. I am now debuting this. My snowflake or whatever. But you don't understand.
Hold on. I'm gonna make a modification to it.
No. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Bum. Bum, bum, bum. No, did you just assume my gender? Honestly, that's assuming gender. But Mike, you don't understand. The people don't understand what the isolator. They know what a USB is, so we had to do that so they would understand what that's about, because they don't know. They don't understand what isolinear chips are, because they don't really want to see the other stuff. And if they had like the DJs say the gel pack, they would have the gel pack challenges, just like they had the Tide challenges. So we couldn't do that. The Tide Pods and the gel pack. Can you imagine that someone's going out there chewing on one of those things? It's a gel pack. No, we can't do that. We have to make sure it's good as today, because people just don't, and they're not that smart. They don't know how. So we have to do that for them. So yeah, it's actually in your chip, because they don't know. They can't think.
How was that soy this morning?
It was great. I had that wrapped in kale. It was specially thrown in from Cash. He was very kind, and he gave me some recipes. And I sat around and communed a little while and contemplated the belly button land. Right, and then wondering why everyone's all upset with Baldur's Gate, because animals leave out of too, and that's just, I just don't understand you guys. You're just so full of hate.
You know what? Now that I look at it, this doesn't look like an SJW clown. Who makes Alexander look good?
Like Kapla Man and all that. Like, really, I don't eat gawk because that's cruel to them, especially, when they're alive. I just like to go, and I don't get I wish I could get $12 avocado toast, but it's usually about $25 here. And and I want to bring green sprouts back again. It's just wonderful.
Let me guess, you don't even like roll cake blood pie.
Well, it's blood, so that's cruel. because he took blood from something. So no, it's like you gotta be one with nature. Be like Worf, be a pacifist. Michael Dorn, he's a vegan, so be like Worf.
This is what Star Trek is now, I guess. Well, I'm not going to insult Star Trek like that. Good Star Trek still exists. You can just buy the movies or the various series prior to Kurtzman and
Mhm.
Abrams' Trek and add them to your collection.
Worst Star Trek ever.
Oh, great! That's pompous, Orman
Yeah.
Tagge.
Oh yeah, I got a whole collection here, folks. I can bring out my family. There is no such thing as cruelty-free gawk. You have to eat it fresh, alive.
So where's the Baron Orman Tagge wearing the suit with a bow tie and his silk top hat with the monocle?
Well, you mean that? I mean that's intellectual.
Yeah, but he needs the top hat. He needs the top hat.
I don't have one.
He needs a top hat. It needs to be holding his pipe.
Yeah, I do say, as we talk about things, this is more like me right there. I got so many. I should cycle through and show all the icons. No, I would think about doing this up to do that, but that's just way too soy for me. Just looking at that picture, I can feel my testicles shrinking to the size of grape seeds, and I just can't do it. So, yeah.
Yeah, and Tommy's right. Physical media is important.
Right. That's what it comes down to, really. Go out, buy, even if it's DVD and you have a Blu-ray, it's like, again, like we're saying before, sometimes the quote-unquote lower quality stuff is not, quote-unquote, I'm using that very heavily sarcastic because it's still quality stuff in presentation, is the way to go. It gets a little bit more of that feeling. Why do you need to have all the fancy special effects again? Yeah, it's nice, but I'm talking about the EOS series particularly. But how are you going to see Star Wars unmolested? You have to watch it on VHS, or if you're lucky enough to got the dual DVD set that they had, we had the new and the old.
I wish I picked that up. I really do. I never did.
I need to get Empire, Return of the Jedi. I got Empire and I have Star Wars. Yes, you heard me. Star Wars. No episode 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. Star Wars.
Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi.
Right. There was never, you had an episode in the crawl, but you never had it on the boards.
Nope. And I'm going to get to this comment real quick before we wrap it up here. Okay, we went an extra hour. No big deal.
I knew it.
But TFC says, is this certified organic, locally sourced, and non-GMO gach?
By the way, you're wrong, T-Gap Steve. That is completely wrong. Han Solo was the only one that shot. Greedo never got a chance.
Nope. Could you imagine a Klingon going into the marketplace, shopping for God, and asking, is this certified organic, locally sourced, and non-GMO? How many Klingons would whip out their knives or bat lifts and cut them down?
Here we are on Kronos, and it's like there's a whole food market, and you can see the little Soylons, going in there, and their weak little arms and scrawny, and their pronouns, and I would like to have the impossible gawk, the stuff that's made from plant instead of animals. Because, even though I'm being pretentious asshole, I still want my stuff to look and taste like meat.
Heck, when Curran first came on board the Enterprise, and he asked, how long has this bird been dead? and he was told, "We cook our food." And then he says, "Fine, I'll try your replicated bird meat." And you can see him eating it like, yeah.
Right. I mean, one of the problems I had with the first season of Star Trek is when you had the Antikins and Slay coming on board the Enterprise. And I think it was I can't remember which one, the wolf ones. They eat their meat alive. They eat meat and they eat alive. And in front of these people who are basically ambassadors, Tash Yar's making, ew, that's gross, that's horrible. And even Riker's joining in. But it's like, no, you don't do that. It's a different culture.
Mhm.
That's the type of writing we're having now with Star Trek.
Yeah.
Because you would never do that in front of your guests that are coming in. You realize that they have different eating habits. Of course, as it goes along the line, Riker, who was involved with that, is dipping his hand in that cock a couple seasons later.
Yeah. In season 2,
Mm-hmm.
when he's going on board the T'Pau. Not the T'Pau.
Not the T'Pau. No, that's Vulcan.
Yeah. But, he was an exchange officer.
Right.
I don't know why the episode's escaping my mind at this time, but, he's trying it, and, he's telling Pulaski and Troy, he's eating ga, roll cake, blood pie, and a few other things, and you see what it is, and
mm-hmm.
he's enjoying it. He's actually enjoying some of it.
Yeah. And people from Britain going, "Oi, that looks like our cuisine. It's like eel pie. Oi, and blood pudding. Oi, I like these Klingons. Oi, yeah."
Yep. That's the one. That's the one. where the Bensonite was on board, and he didn't report the mysterious whole
crotch rot
organism that was on the Klingon bird of prey.
Mm-hmm. And the Klingons thought that the Enterprise sabotaged them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, would that be considered ship STD?
Yeah, it would be, and also the Klingon commander was played by the voice actor who provided the voice of Cobra Commander and Starscream.
Starscream?
Yes, Starscream.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll admit it. I like going into my Megatron voice.
Yeah. He's a big Megatron fan, folks.
Really. I like Megatron. I like Optimus.
Mm-hmm. Because you are an optimist. I'm not. You are.
Oh, I am a Cub fan.
I know.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to wrap up this edition of PACIFIC414 Pop Talk. But before we do that, Baron, plug away.
Well, folks, of course, you know me being here on Pop Talk both Sundays and Wednesdays. And I believe we have a Vermintide on the Phantom Booligans on Friday. On Saturday.
Probably not this Friday because
not
we have
Friday?
some.
Oh, that's right. We have the Star Trek. Yeah. How am I going to get my Vermintide? Oh, no, I'm going to cry now. But yeah, we got the Star Trek. That will be right after the rugby championship game between the New Zealand All Blacks. Yeah, against the French. The cheese-eating surrender monkeys. On Saturdays, this Saturday at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time on my channel, Phantom Legacy, we will have part 2 of season 2 discussion of Babylon 5. Another show. If you haven't been watching it, folks, watch it. Watch it. It's a great show. And of course, 5 o'clock on Sundays on 24/7 Fusion Media. It's the Primetime Kings of Live Stream with, of course, the Tower of Power himself, 24/7 Fusion Media. The ever mysterious Vigilante Williamson cruising in his hot rod from the Hollywood Knights is New Bomb Turk. And of course, myself, your humble announcer, co-host of the show. So.
Very cool, and yes, I'm looking forward to talking season 2, at least the first half of season 2 of Babylon 5 this coming Saturday with you.
That's going to be where it's really going to start winding up with Star Trek. That'll be Babylon 5. I mean,
Yes. But I do want to
Office.
say hello to the old man real quick. How are you doing, old man? No, the strike's still going on. Thank
Yeah,
goodness. More time for us.
me too, T-Cap. Me too.
So, what's coming up on Pacific 4 and 4? Well, nothing tomorrow, but on Tuesday, I will be playing the game The Messenger. Taking a little break from River City Girls. Need to level up and do a few other things offline before we continue the quest on stream.
What?
Yes. Yes, Baron. I need to level up.
Hmm.
I need to make sure my character is ready for glorious battle. They're not trained well enough. But I will be playing The Messenger on Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. It'll be on the YouTube channel, the Twitch channel, the Rumble channel, and the Kick channel. And hopefully the stream cooperates. Excuse me. And then Wednesday, it'll be the 200th episode of Pacific 4 and 4 Pop Talk at 6 p.m. Eastern on both the YouTube channel, the Kick channel, and the Rumble channel. There will not be a Rumble exclusive hour on Wednesday, as all 3 hours are going to be on all three channels, celebrating 200 episodes of Pacific 4 and 4 Pop Talk. Yes, last month celebrating 2 years. Well, this Wednesday celebrating 200 episodes. It's not the first program that I've reached 200 episodes for. I reached 200 episodes for the box score, which, if I do bring it back this year before the season's out, I'm still waiting for the price of MLB.TV to go down just a little lower because I'm cheap. I don't want to spend too much money on it. But if I do bring the box score back, then those videos will be uploaded on Pacific 4 and 4 and so much more on YouTube.
Listen to him. I have had 2 shows now that's gone 200.
Well, I'm kind of proud of that, Baron.
Yeah, of course. We know. You let us
Let me rephrase it. I shouldn't be kind of proud of it. I am proud of it.
know.
Knowing how committed I am to doing an episode, recapping a baseball game, regardless of how the season's turning out, or talking about pop culture and video games and everything, just how committed I am to making sure that it's done and it's done in a fun way.
He's committed, all right.
And then Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern will be Starfield Part 1. I know a lot of people right now are able to access the game via early access.
Right.
Well, I decided not to buy this game. I am going to try it from Game Pass. I already have it pre-installed.
Same here.
I know it becomes available at 8 p.m. on Wednesday, but we're going to be doing Pop Talk on Wednesday. So I will be streaming Starfield for the first time on Thursday, and I'll be quite frank with you guys. If there are things I don't like about this game, you'll hear it. But if there are things I do like about the game, I'll definitely praise the good.
I might be leaving Pop Talk early on Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
I'm kidding.
That's fine.
Kidding. I won't do that.
No, I was gonna say that's fine. I mean, I can't say I blame you.
Yeah, 2 days, 4 hours, 55 minutes right now.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, and I know that Cash was kind of grumbling a little bit, because of a couple little things in there that's kind of woke. But the thing is to be fair and honest, if Baldur's Gate Fair and FetLife was that way, we made it known that we'd still play it because you can just kind of avoid that. So it's like, okay, they got in there. I'm gonna be constant about it. Yeah, we know it's there, but at least it's just a couple little things there, like having pronouns in one gender bender clone. I mean, really, right there, I can live with that over basically Baldur's Gate being basically a giant orgy and bestiality. I mean,
yeah.
And if it was that way, for what they had for Starfield, what we found out right now, and I watch a lot, and that's about the two things that I've seen that it's like, yeah, but it's not going to drive me away. I gotta be honest.
No.
If the same way with Baldur's Gate, I'd be excited about Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, same here.
Mm-hmm.
But because it has the bestiality in it,
Yep.
I want no part of the game.
Right.
And that's Baldur's Gate 3.
Mm-hmm.
The pronouns and the other thing that's in Starfield, that doesn't turn me off
No.
playing the game.
Mm-hmm. It's just what it's like, okay, I can brush it off. It's like, yeah. I just wish you could put your own pronouns in there, but I don't think you can do that.
Klingon. I only need one. Klingon.
Fuck you. That's it. FOOK/YEW. Fuck you. Maybe that's what I'll name my character. See how far I can go with that.
You can try it. I don't know if they'll let you, but you can try it. But also on Friday, I know some of you are probably saying, but Mike, you don't stream on Fridays. I'm making an exception, and it's for a very good reason. I know you've already heard me mention it a couple of times already during this stream, but Friday is the official 57th anniversary of the original series premiering on NBC on September 8th, 1966. We were introduced to Star Trek, Captain Kirk, Spock, and Dr. McCoy in the man trap. Yes. And, well, Friday, we're going to be talking about not just the original series, but the animated series, the movies, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise, games. We're going to be talking about good Star Trek. Having fun talking about good Star Trek. Singing glorious song about good Star Trek. You know I have to get into my gal run. Don't you, Baron? You know I have to. And some might say you don't have to. I choose to, because it's where I belong.
That would be highly illogical. You must approach this with a logical mind and not with the emotion. For if we do so, it could cause problems.
Patak! Spoiling my moment. Using logic instead of relishing the sounds of battle.
We Vulcan have a phrase like,
I don't want to hear any Vulcan logic. I want to tell glorious stories, sing glorious songs about glorious battle.
well, in that type of situation, we have a Vulcan saying that goes up your ass and to the left.
Could you imagine a Vulcan say that?
Yeah.
But that Star Trek stream will be happening this Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern. And I do have guests lined up. I also have let everybody know what's going on in our Twitter group. And for those of you who are going to be part of that panel, don't worry. I haven't forgotten about what I said about posting the link to that stream in that Twitter group the day of. I haven't forgotten about that.
There's a Twitter group?
Yes, Baron, you're a part of it. You responded.
I did? Oh, I don't remember. Okay.
Right. You don't remember. But speaking of something, I know I said remember, but for members of Pacific 414, that includes you, Phil McCracken, that includes you, Baron, that includes you, T-Gap Steve, at 3 p.m. Eastern this Saturday will be a member stream. So you're all welcome to come. And unlike Pop Talk, for those of you who weren't part of the first one, the member streams are chill, lay back. We just talk about whatever. We shoot the breeze. There's no specific topic we talk about. It's whatever you want to talk about. And I thought we had a good time. And DJ Ronnie G, if you're still here, you're available for Saturday's member stream. Don't forget about it.
How the hell did Mike Zero get on my Twitter feed?
What?
Yeah.
I don't. What the hell?
I'm not following him. I would never follow him. But
did you? Okay. Here's something.
Go on.
If somebody that you're following, because I've seen this happen,
Darius
follows a certain person, then you'll see that person's tweets. I don't know why. Because there are people I don't follow and I have no intention on following.
Yeah.
And I see their tweets.
Yeah, me too. A lot of others. But I guess Zero for me was the one that took the cake. It's like, of all the people out there, maybe I heard me talk about him. I don't know.
Maybe. But that is what's coming up on PACIFIC414. Of course, we'll have our usual Sunday edition of PACIFIC414 Pop Talk, and Cash will be back with us, of course, next Tuesday. I don't know if this is for sure yet, but next Tuesday we're thinking about streaming a game, and it's a fun game because Baron, Cash, and I have played the demo, and we had a lot of fun playing it. Will be Myth Force. I'm going to talk with Baron and Cash afterwards and see if we're all going to, play the game and purchase the game on Tuesday. If not, I'm sure I'll stream something else. But
I hope it's not going to be too expensive. That's all I got.
Yeah. Me too. That would be the only thing stopping it.
Same here. And it's Vermintide, but not as violent.
No,
I mean, it's violent, but not as gore-filled. Here we go.
Yeah, but it was a fun game.
Oh,
playing that demo. But I do want to thank everybody for being here, listening to us when we were serious, listening to us when we were silly. And I want to thank T-Gap Steve for being here and providing the synopsis of Beverly Hills 414. Being the voiceover guy who provides the recap from each and every episode. And we had Bucky's Crafty. Thank you, Bucky. Good to see you. And we had Real Wade Gaming Clips. Brandon Looney Tunes Fan 2000. Cavatino Cavalryman Shay. DJ Ronnie G was here. Sci-Fi Nation was here. Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective was here. Old Man was here. Phil McCracken was here. And one more. Got one more. Just got to find him. All right. I know you're here. Where are you, Jet Sparks? All right. Got to keep going. There you are. And Jet Sparks was here. So thank you all very much for being here for this Sunday edition of PACIFIC414 Pop Talk. And until next time, remember, I'm not just a baseball guy. I'm an all-around guy. And Baron, any final words?
Bye.
Autobots, transform and roll out.
Two days, 4 hours, 44 minutes, and counting.
Starfield.
Got it.
Bye, everybody. Have a wonderful time.
Say no to bears.
No to bears.